Hey guys, Adrian here on behalf of digitaldojos.com. I am coming back with a lot of videos, got a lot of stuff to do, and today we're talking about OS X Mavericks. So I finally have gotten around to getting OS X Mavericks. Now there was a kind of dilemma for me deciding between iOS account or a OS X Mavericks account for the developers. For it's like I think $99 a year, which is actually a really good deal, and I'll probably end up getting the iOS developer later, or at least paying for. I know they have like a lot of UDID activations, which to be honest, I may just end up getting one of those rather than a whole account. But I decided to go for the developers account because I really just wanted to try OS X Mavericks on my iMac. Rather than iOS 7. I'm pretty satisfied with my iPhone 5 on jailbroken, so I don't really want to risk on jailbreaking and stuff like that. If anything, I'm going to throw iOS 7 on my iPad or my iPhone 4S and test it around with that. Anyhow, today we're going to be talking about OS X Mavericks. I want to give a video of my first impressions. I'll look at some of the new features. What I've experienced so far, I've been using it for only 2 days now. It's on my iMac here, so I have it on my iMac. I decided to throw it on my main machine to see how it goes. There is a little bit of bugs. So I'm glad in the fact that I didn't overwrite my main OS Mountain Lion. What I did is I made a 150 gig partition. I deleted my 400 gig partition of my Windows Boot Camp because I never really used Windows. I put 150 gigs of that into a Mavericks partition. So OS X Mavericks, it is the latest addition to that of Mac OS X. It's going away from the kind of cat theme of Mountain Lion was the last one, and Mavericks is going to be themed on places in California now. So OS X Mavericks is based on a lot of advanced technologies in terms of performance upgrades and that of battery life. It's really great for that of laptops because basically it does a lot of power optimization with the CPU in conjunction with a lot of these new Haswell processors that are in the newer Macs. But it also optimizes Macs just to save a lot more battery and be more power efficient overall, while throwing in a lot of new user end features. So let's talk about a couple of them here. iBooks is now accessible, but I believe via the App Store. So you can go in the App Store now if you're a fan of iBooks. I'm a fan of them on my iPad, but if you want to read them on the Mac, you can do that as well. Maps, we can go ahead and open that one here. I'm not a huge user of Maps just because I live in a pretty small area. I don't go around to in crazy places here in Japan, and again, it's pretty small. You kind of know where everything is here. But you can see here's a Maps application. They've done some nice improvements here. I like the control. Everything is pretty smooth. It goes around pretty smoothly here. You can see just kind of panning around. I really like the controls and how they work here. You can see there I am in Japan here. I can zoom into China, for example. We can go to, let's see, for Statue of Liberty, for example, in New York. As you can hear, we have the Statue of Liberty. We can click information, get this little detached window here. You can add bookmarks. You can go in here. You can go into flyover mode. That's a really nice mode here. And we can go into satellite view. And you can see the maps are really, really nice here. Really nice detail. If you haven't used flyover, it's really cool technology. And if you have, I'm not using the trackpad. I don't have it hooked up. But if you have that, you can easily just pan around using multi-touch gestures. That's one thing I haven't really got to test out quite yet, the multi-touch gestures. So I'm looking forward to seeing if those really changed anywhere in Mavericks. But yeah, that's Maps. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. Next, we have Calendar. Calendar got some improvements. Today is July 1st. I'm going to go ahead and move this OS X Mavericks window out of the way here. But yeah, you can see Calendar. It's much more, obviously, it's much more free of skeuomorphic design. Skeuomorphism is something that they really got rid of within Mavericks and in and iOS. Basically, the whole linen, the whole leather, that's skeuomorphic design, where it's kind of skeuomorphic designs when they take something like digitally and I guess the best way I can explain it is when they take something like that would be in real life, like a leather bound calendar or a linen, a leather bound whatever notebook, and they implement that into a digital sense. I don't know if I think Notes is different too. I know it's different on iOS 7. It's different here on kind of just like a paper background, not so much skeuomorphic in the fact that before it was like lines. It's just like how it is in the icon there. So use some new changes to apps like that. I really do like the new calendar look. It's much more simpler, much more cleaner in my opinion here. All right, next up we have changes to Safari. There's a lot of big changes here to Safari, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that Safari window back up here. You can see here, if I click on Safari, they did a lot of new changes, a lot of speed stuff, speed enhancements, under the hood stuff, but also they changed the new top sites page, as you can see here, the top sites page like so. Basically just a nicer laid out UI. You can go into this cool kind of tab view as always. They changed a lot of things within Safari. A couple other things here. You can see they talk about the sidebar. You have that sidebar with your bookmarks, which I can enable just by clicking right here. So a nice little thing if you use Reading List or anything like that. You can easily just click all or check all of that information easily within your sidebar there. And shared links. Shared links are basically you can do stuff like retweet stuff. So it's integration without a social network, so it ties in with the Twitter accounts that are locked in or linked in with that of OS X, stuff like that. And overall, I've really noticed there's a lot of charts here that talk about stuff. Safari has definitely seen speed improvements. I really do like the speed increase, and it's noticeable to me in Mavericks anyway, coming from somebody who uses Chrome on a regular basis here. Alright, so what else is there to talk about here? Finder is a big thing that they changed a lot too. I'm going to go ahead and jump into that and just some other stuff here. Also within Safari, they did iCloud Keychain. Basically, it's like LastPass for OS X. It integrates all your passwords all in one. It allows you to store passwords, create passwords, all that good stuff. I want to talk about Finder first before I get into some other things here. So Finder is something they changed up here. Now, if you're a power user of OS X on the previous version, there was an app I liked that was called Pathfinder that I bought. And Pathfinder is very much where they took a lot of these features and integrated it into their own application. I'm not just saying it's just Pathfinder. Just if you use Pathfinder, then these are very familiar. They integrated what's called Finder tabs, so I can hit Command T here and I can get tabs all accessible, and each tab can have its own view. It can be in its own thing. So for example, I can be on desktop here, all my files over here. Really nice, because this just allows you to keep more organized. So one of the big issues before is you have all these windows going around. You can now go up to Windows, click merge all windows, and you can see it just nice plops right in there. I really like this view in terms of browsing through your Explorer or your Finder, as you want to call it here, just because it makes it so much more easier. It makes it more compact and easy to navigate around, and it's nice when you're switching between and transferring files. I can easily just drag something over here to this, and then if I want to jump over that simply, it's really easy. I do like that tab addition. Additionally, they've done tags, so you can tag certain files now, so you can tag them certain colors and stuff like that. That way it's easier to find, so when you search, you can search by tags or file names, whatever you want to do. It just makes it easier to find stuff. Basically, it's like tagging anything else. You're just tagging certain files. Now, multiple displays. So multiple displays is something I can't quite really show, just because obviously the screen recorder can't capture both screens here. I would probably need a webcam. But basically, what's really nice is they've done some things where you can now you have 2 menu bars across each screen here. You can go full screen with things like Safari now. Whoops, sorry, there goes my phone from the text message I just got earlier. You can do independent full screen. The best feature about multiple displays, and one of my favorite things they did, is one of the reasons I upgraded to Mavericks, is the fact that now you can full screen on one screen and it doesn't render your multiple displays useless. Before, we would just make a linen background. I can have Safari full screen on my main monitor, and then I can have like Photoshop full screen on my right monitor, or Final Cut Pro, or Adobe Premiere. It's really nice in terms of workflow. I think that was a huge flaw in Mountain Lion, that they totally rendered your other screens useless, because I had triple screen set up, and basically 2 screens were just useless if I was full screen in one app. Really awesome for email. If you have one monitor like myself, usually dedicated to email and to-do list apps, I can easily just full screen one monitor. It's really nice. Another cool thing they did with multiple displays is AirPlay display. If you have an Apple TV hooked up to a TV, your TV can act as its own single display now. I haven't really tried this yet, but I'm looking forward to this, just because it's really cool. If you have like a TV in your setup, you can use it as a full-on display. It just gives more functionality to that of AirPlay and your Apple TV. If you're giving a presentation, it makes it all the much more easier now. You can have your MacBook Air, turn your TV into an AirPlay mirror display, and then just drag any window you want over there. Really nice. They beefed up mission control in that. For that, I actually don't even know my mission control, what the shortcut is for mission control. Is it? Oh, no, that's dashboard. Let me see if I can find what mission control is. Just hitting because I'm not using the standard Apple keyboard. Actually, let's just go into it here. Mission control. You can see here they beefed it up. You can do individual spaces now on each monitor. That's something I can't really show either, but that's really cool. You can have individual full screen apps on their own spaces dependent to each monitor. Just really cool productivity tweaks they've done on multiple displays. Couple cons, on beta 2, there's some issues with the dock thing. Originally, the dock is supposed to like pop up on the second screen. I've been having issues with that, and I'm not the only one. I know a couple people on Twitter talked about that, so if you guys know a solution to that, definitely drop it in the comments below. Trying to think of some other issues. Yeah, I really like how they fixed that. I know there's a couple other things I didn't really quite like about what they did with multiple displays, even though they fixed the big main issues with that full screen stuff. I'd like to see them add some sort of snap to grid feature, since again, they're doing a lot of things with multiple displays. Easier window management would have been nice. There's something that I'm totally slipping my mind. I know Safari is one thing. A lot of people said I think you can't have 2 Safari windows full screen if I'm not mistaken. Let me go ahead and test that out now. I'm pretty sure you can't have two. Yeah, you can have two full screen. I guess you can. Maybe I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe that's I was thinking something else. But yeah, so far so good. I really like the whole full screen integration. Really nice. Just works out really easy and simple and more productive. Notifications got a big upgrade. You can basically have interactive notifications now. Really awesome if you use iMessages. However, iMessage, in my opinion, is still really buggy on the desktop. There's a lot of syncing issues. There's a lot of issues where at times it says it doesn't send on your phone and it sends through to iMessage in general. Just been really buggy for me lately. I think there's a lot of improvement they can still make in that app, though interactive notifications is a really nice touch. And that they've also done stuff where you can get other integrations from your iPhone or your iOS notifications synced up, all of that good stuff. But yeah, other than that, there's a lot of advanced technology built into it and stuff under the hood that obviously I can't quite show you, but basically that does it with power management. This isn't a laptop, but it does a lot of great stuff with the CPU and rendering power consumption, with what is up center and up front, so it knows whatever you're focusing on is what the CPU should be giving power to. OS X Mavericks, in my opinion, is a really nice upgrade. It's not to me it's a huge upgrade in terms of features for power users. I think they really did a really awesome amount of listening in terms of what power users really wanted. I think just as well, basic consumers will be happy with all this stuff, but multiple displays are more aimed towards power users. iCloud Keychain is more of a convenient thing. Finder tabs is more of a convenience thing. Maps, etc. are more convenience things. So I think the common consumer will also appreciate those as well. And there's not much of a learning curve with that of OS X Mavericks. Not too much has super changed where that users will be confused. Anyways, really interested in it, guys. I'm looking forward to more of the updates and what will come. What do you guys think about OS X Mavericks? I'll do a full write-up very soon. Full review, obviously, when it comes out later in the fall. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Any questions about OS X Mavericks, drop them in the comments below. I'll be doing a little bit more video tutorials on highlighting specific features within OS X Mavericks. Thanks, guys, for watching. Don't forget to head over to digitaldojos.com.